back to my channel.
Forever is the strangest thing. It's shorter than you think. No think.
The Holy Trinity, Bermuda, Alaskan, and Bridgewater Triangles. Some say even notable deaths. The significance of three is undeniable. You are to bear witness to yet another event. You're invited to join your hosts, Krista, Aaron, and Brandy, as they guide you down the rabbit holes of the paranormal and unexplained, striving for answers of this world and beyond. Welcome to Blondes, Booze, and the Woo.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to Blondes and Booze, Paranormal Podcast and the Woo. I'm back.
Yay.
I'm back. Yay. And here is one of our lovely hosts, Krista. And this is, Krista, go. Say hi.
Brandy.
Hi. I got to figure out the pointing thing again.
Right, it's all back.
All right,
You've been out
that's
for a little
Brandy.
bit, so you don't remember which way's which
I
anymore.
don't remember again. It's like, okay. It's all weird. And that's Brandy.
Yay!
Yay!
We are so happy to have you back.
I am so glad to be back. I cannot tell you enough how glad I am to be back. Real quick, this is this direction. Sorry. This is Sam, and we will tell you all who Sam is in just a few minutes. But yes, I am so glad to be back. Thank you, everybody who, oh my gosh. I mean, I will tell you guys all flat out, I was so sick. Krista even knows. Her and I were laughing because she called me to see how I was. And literally within the first 2 seconds, I said, I will talk to you later. And I hung up. I have never, ever said that to her. Ever. Like where I just say, I will talk to you later and hang up. And I think Krista was like, oh crap, Aaron's dying.
Well, you about did.
I about did. I was very sick for, some of you guys know, and some of you don't know that I do have kidney issues. I have since I was a child. A little bit of that is a part of the reason how I'm a sensitive, basically saw Jesus sort of thing, when I was a kid. I had an extreme kidney infection, along with some other health issues. And I was in the hospital. And for a lot of my family and friends who know me personally, they know that is a very, very serious thing for me. So for them to post out there, prayers and love and light sent, I appreciate everybody so much, because honestly, I don't think I would be here right now talking to you guys if it wasn't for everybody's prayers and love and positivity sent my way, because it uplifted me. And I know I haven't been able to reach out to everybody because there was just so many people that, I want to just say again, thank you everyone so much, because I was extremely sick. I was very sick. And not to mention, I think what did it before was I had that flu that everybody's been getting, and that dropped my immune system down. And then from there on, it just went, south. Yep. So again, thank you everybody. And I'm so glad to be back and to be, on the mends, antibiotics. Yeah, they're good.
And you're not allowed to scare us like that anymore.
I know. That is the sickest I have been. I am a stubborn individual. I will admit it through and through. I am stubborn. If I say take me to the hospital,
it's time to go.
It ain't good.
Yeah, it's time to go.
So,
but we're all glad that you're better, and we are so happy to have you back.
I
Yeah.
am
We
so
are.
glad.
We're extremely excited to have you back with us, and especially this is your first Friday with us.
Right?
It's just like,
We're excited.
wow, we're all
I
here
know, and that's
together.
what's so crazy is all this amazing things happened like right when I got like sick. And so, this is my first Friday with everybody. So I'm just really excited and just blessed to be here. And yeah, looking forward to
Well,
everything.
we couldn't have bought,
Well, you're here.
you couldn't have come back on a better show. You really couldn't have.
Right?
I'm going to pass this on over to Krista and let her explain this a little bit, but this is a really good show. And I was hoping that you would be here because you really need to be in on this one.
Yes. This is a good one.
Yes. So as everybody knows, we are Blondes and Booze and the Woo. And this is our Friday night show. Thanks to Tex and his crew. We
Yes.
can't thank you guys enough. And I just want to let everybody know that on Monday nights, this is all Central Time. I'm going to tell you the show's times, but it's all Central Time. Monday nights is Texas Front Porch at 6:30. Tuesdays is Beyond BMR at 8 p.m. Van Buren Variety is on at 7 p.m. Wednesdays is Jason McLean Questions Everything at 9 p.m. Thursdays is Brunch with Bigfoot Michigan Rob at noon. Ciru Papers on Thursday night at 9 p.m. And then Friday you get us Blondes. So we are glad to be part of the Texas team for sure.
Yeah, we're the sunshine to close out the week.
There
Yes.
you go. There you go. There you go. And there's something else I want to do some shout outs too. I received some gifts this week, and I want to thank them personally. Jennifer Appleton sent me some really cool things, and then Barton and Letitia Nunley also gave me some cool things too. So thank you to you guys. Seriously, it meant a lot. And my new I'm working on the basement. I'm working on an area to start doing these shows from, and the pictures that Letitia and Barton sent me are going to be some of my background, and there's some of his drawings. So it's really cool, and I appreciate it. So anyway, on with the show.
Yes. So, Brandy, would you like to introduce our guest today?
Okay. This is Sam. That's what we call her, but it is Samantha. Her and I have been friends for a couple years. She has a very unique story, and she reached out to me recently and explaining some of these things. Now, I knew she was having some kind of issues that were happening. I've been there. I've witnessed them, so I can validate a lot of what she's going to say. So, I mean, a lot of people can say what they want, but I'm here to say, yes, it happened. And we're trying to get to the root of it. Now, Krista had something. She's going to explain how we're actually going to do this.
Yes. So when we do private cases, that's really our forte. We're all three of us are passionate about helping people, and that's why we do this. And for private cases, we don't usually air this. We don't talk about, there's full disclosure. Samantha has agreed to come on here and do this, which is totally out of the norm.
Oh, very much so. Most of the time
that we do.
Don't.
So I want to stress to everybody that
Yes.
This is not anything normal. We don't put your name out there. We don't, do anything like that. And just know, if we cannot help Samantha tonight, we are more than willing to go down and do a full-on investigation and help her out. So we will stay with her for the duration of this. We're just not going to dump her tonight. She's got closure,
I can't dump her.
It's like a one-night stand.
Yeah.
Sam.
I can't dump her. She'll just call me.
Right. So this isn't how this works, So, we're in it with her for the long haul. So we are glad to have you, and we are honored that you agreed to come on here and do this live, Samantha.
Thank you. And honestly, Sam, this really, I think this will help people who are scared to come and ask for help. I think that a lot of the times they think that it's going to be some crazy yahoos coming in and asking them a bunch of like crazy questions, or not believing them, or calling them idiots, or coming up with some crazy business. So I think that this really helps a lot of people who do need to reach out for help and who are too scared to. So thank you for putting your foot forward and yourself forward in this and publicly to be able to, you know, help other people. So I think you really need to pat yourself on the back for that, because it's not that easy. It's very scary for some people. So thank you.
Yeah, I want to answer Eric, aka Purple Hobbit Abroad. He says, "What types of things do you investigate?" Honestly, we are paranormal, ghost, first and foremost. We are new to the cryptid world, so that's another area we're dabbling in. I would not consider us researchers at all. We've just talked to people and done shows on it.
I don't know, Krista. You and Brandy are pretty good. I don't know. I would call you two researchers.
I wouldn't, because
Well,
I've never been out.
Really?
I've never
Yeah,
been out. So,
Yes
no.
and no, but I mean, you do research a lot of the different types. You know a lot without having to 100% experience those situations. So my opinion is I would say you're a researcher, because you do research it. You may not research on the field. You may not be a field researcher at this point, but you are a researcher. Just saying.
Did you see
Okay.
what Michael Christopher said?
No, what did he say?
He said,
I know exactly.
We talked to dead
Yeah,
people,
Michael,
Aaron.
like that. I mean, I'm calling you Chris. I'm pulling a Jessica Potter right now.
Yeah.
Michael, yes, we talk to dead people, so we are completely nuts. I mean, you know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, we are
Facebook
just
user, I don't know who this is, and I wish I did. So it said, "You girls came in and confirmed what I felt was in my son and daughter-in-law's home. Krista, FYI, my son moved out of the home just after 6 months." So
Yeah, so
we're
Facebook
glad that
user,
we can
if
help you.
you have more questions about that and you need some help on that, you know,
Yeah, always reach out to us. We're here in the
Yeah.
long haul. So
Yeah,
we're always
message us
here to
or
help
message
people.
Krista privately, and
Yeah.
we'll help you with that.
Yeah. So let's move on to Samantha. And
yeah.
Yes.
Let's have, you know what, let's just start breaking the ice, because I know she's a little bit nervous. We talked on the a little bit.
It was Kim Libby, real quick. That's awesome.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Kim.
I'm going to have her explain how we met, because like I said, we talked on the phone a little bit tonight, and she is a little bit nervous. Who wouldn't be? This is a lot to put out there to a lot of people.
It is.
So I'm going to let her explain something easy, and that's how we met. Go, Samantha.
How did we? Oh, okay. So I was actually a server or a bartender at a restaurant locally, and her and a crew came in, and I was like, "We're closed. Like, what are you guys doing?" Because a big crew came in to eat, and I was like, "No." And they told me that they're investigating, and I was like, "No way," because I'm into that stuff, but like
Yeah.
a lot of people aren't. And I was like, "Oh, I've always wanted to do that." And they were like, "Oh, stay, join us." And then I met Brandy.
So we kind of picked her up that night, and I just never let her go.
Yeah,
Right.
because weird stuff happened to me, so I was her little prize.
Yeah.
Right. Like, oh yeah, yep. You were never a one night stand, Sam. She kept you.
She did.
Kept her. So anyway, the night that we met, we did some investigation. It's a very neat place, and it has a lot of history, back history, and weird history at that, even down to little old lady used to sell drugs out of the basement. She used to grow pot and sell it out of the basement.
You said this is where she lives currently?
No, this is how we met. It was that
Oh,
night
okay,
that we
okay.
met.
I was like, what
The
heck?
restaurant had
It
a
was
really
just
old
that old.
history.
Doing?
Aaron,
Your
don't
career is
don't start doing this to me. Let's tell the right story. That's how rumors get started. Anyway, so like I said, the history on the place is very unique, and I said and even to the point where I said there was a little old lady that would sell pot out of the basement. It was really cute, but we did have a lot of activity that night. And I will honestly say that we did notice a little something different about Sam the first night. Wherever things were happening, anywhere we had equipment, things like that, Sam was very near or right in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
We caught a video that night where it was just sitting on a table and it was pointed towards a corner. Now, Sam, I don't know if you remember this, but Logan caught this, and you can, as it's pointing down and it's sitting on the table, so it's pointing straight. Well, she walked by, you could only see probably from her shoulders down, and she was walking by the camera, and we watched a black shadow follow right behind her. And right then I'm like thinking, well, that's kind of strange.
Well, and that was the same night that I had those wristlet flashlights, and it just came on by itself.
Yeah. The things just started blinking all by himself. So then every time that she was sitting by some equipment, she was always getting responses, and intelligent responses at that. So that's how, that we began. And then after a while, she had moved jobs, and I'm gonna let you explain this. She had bought a business and began her own business. And explain some of the things that started happening when you first bought your new business.
Well, wait a second. Can we back up just a second?
Yes.
Because I was under the impression she's had this most of her life.
We're going to back up to that.
Let's back
Okay.
up.
And just so you guys know, I'm right now, try not, if you can, try not, I mean, I guess that we're having to work around a lot of different avenues here. I'm trying not to get as much information as possible because I'm writing down a lot of stuff that I'm picking up. I'm in a different view right now. Like I'm in a different mental view.
If you need to mute us and go off for a few minutes, go ahead.
That would be fine. Yeah, that would be great because
That's
I'm
fine.
writing down stuff right now. And so
yeah, just mute us.
Yeah. So everybody, I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm going to mute myself and yeah.
We'll continue on.
Yeah, what Erin's going to do, she's going to tap into Sam's energy and see if she can get some information. Erin knows nothing about this case. I know very little. So let's start from the beginning, Sam, if you don't mind. What first happened?
Well, it was just like growing up. I don't remember all of it. My mom just would tell me, like, still to this day, that I would say that I saw like shadow people in the hallway. Like I had to have my door shut growing up. Like sleeping with it open was not an option because I would see people in my or not people, but shadow figures in my hallway. And then I know like one time in my childhood home, like the dryer opened and closed by itself. Like one time my mom witnessed like the coat hanger swinging. Like I think it all originated from the house I grew up in. But really, as I got older, there was a couple years where like nothing happened. And then I probably about 21 or 22 is whenever I was serving and I met Brandy, and then really and I'm 26 now. So really like ever since then, it's been like boom, boom, boom. Like no matter where I am or what I'm doing, it's like all of a sudden it's like all the time.
So when it stopped for a while, what was going on in your life? Anything change or
just like everything? Because that was probably from the time I was 18 to 22. I was like, I moved out, I got a job, didn't like my job, like moved back home. Like it was just constant, like back and forth, not stable. And now, and then in my early 20s, I got more stable, and now, here I am. So
right, gotcha. Okay, do you are you baptized?
Yeah, I believe so. God, that sounds bad. I think so. Yes.
Okay. Well, the reason I ask is because a lot of this has to do around what is your faith? What do you believe?
When I go to church now, I go to a Baptist church. I believe when I was baptized, it was Lutheran.
Okay, that it doesn't matter. It's just so you're Christian.
Yeah. Okay.
Have you ever? I guess the reason I'm asking this is like, have you like prayed, and that seemed to help or anything like that? Have you?
Yeah, I mean, I pray every morning, every night. Like, is that what you're asking?
Well, about like when activities going on. No. Okay. I was just curious because sometimes, if you pray, it goes away. It's just, we're just trying to pinpoint, like break it down to what's exactly going on with you. So Brandy had said that you've seen shadow figures. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. So it really just depends. Like, are you wanting previous, current?
Start at the beginning when you first seen.
I mean, I guess I saw them when I was little. I can't repeat. I mean, I can't tell you exactly that because that's just what my mom told me. But I bought a business, and that's just wild. Like that story is just that's an insane situation. But I did see it's it's those things where you see out the corner of your eye and you're like, wait a second, like was that your hair? Was that, like you just really
Sure.
never know. But it happened so many times that I was like, okay. So I had bought a business and that business had extreme activity. I don't know how much you want me to touch on that right now, but
Go for it.
that
Whatever you want
okay,
to talk about.
so it was insane. Like before I bought it, I was told by one of the employees, like there was like they called it a spook or whatever. And I was like, yeah, whatever, okay. Like, okay. Well then I bought it. And the first time I was there by myself, I was like, okay, yeah, there's stuff going on here. And then it just like amplified. Like Brandy was there for that whole entire 7-8 months that went on. Like that was the craziest thing I've ever experienced, I think. But there was shadow figures in my current house that I rent and I'm friends with the landlord. I had asked her, like, have you ever had weird stuff happen to you here? And she's laughing, like, no. And I'm like, okay. And
Now,
I see them
honestly,
here.
I'm gonna interject here because I want to go back to the business part.
Yeah.
Since this was a couple years ago, in her place of business, I believe there was some type of poltergeist activity. There was a mirror.
I was going to say, what went on at the
Yeah,
business?
there was a gigantic mirror in the back of her business, and it'd been hanging there for how long? 10 years?
Mm-hmm.
Do you
That
know where
just
the mirror originated from? Do you know anything, the history of the mirror? No.
it was
But
in
it
the
fell off
business,
the wall.
Wow. Okay.
Like
and it
10,
was
12
huge.
years
It wasn't a
later.
little mirror.
Right.
Oh, it
And
was
you
like
can see
massive.
where the glue actually came off. Everything just fell. Now that could have been because it'd been there too long. Who knows?
Right.
But that's not the only thing.
Okay.
She had what was it? Your smoothie area
Mhm.
in her business, and she had the menus hanging up on the wall. And she would come in, and they would either be off the wall or hanging crooked or something every day. Now we checked around that thing. There was no air blowing on it, which would cause that. Plus, they were hanging on these long nails,
Like
so you would
screws,
actually
yeah.
have to reach up there and pull them off.
Okay.
For
And
them
I
to
would literally I would send them a picture, put them back up, and then the next day I would come in and I'd be like,
Right. Right. Quick question. Brian asks, is there any unusual or foul smells?
at the business or
Both.
Yeah, no,
Have you ever?
at the business, I could say no. I don't know if Sam did at any time, but she never mentioned anything to me.
Mhm.
Okay. No foul smells. Okay. Well, that's a good thing, honestly.
Yeah.
But okay, so finish up talking about the shadow. I want to hear more about the shadow figures and what they looked like. If you actually see, I know you said out the corner of your eye. Did you ever see a full-on one?
It would just be like not I don't know if like a black mass is the correct term, but just literally like a black object that would just like move. Like
Yeah.
almost like it would just like you would see it. It was really always the utility room. If you remember where that is, Brandy, like back there by the bathroom. Every time I'd walk past, if the light was off, it would be like the light would be off, and then you would see like darker than the dark, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Just like from like it was just walking out of the room or something. Like it was like it's not. I mean, I think it's funny, but I would like speed walk past that room and like not even look. Like I would just go to the bathroom and go straight back. Like I wouldn't even look. But I saw those a couple times, and then there was the noises were like those. That was something I don't think I'll ever experience again in my life. I hope I don't.
Right.
But
So
that was.
can you talk about the noises?
Yeah, I mean, especially for our investigations, me and Brandy both would be in one room talking, telling it to do something, and it would be doing it, but across the salon. So we would
Gotcha.
have to run all the way over there to try to capture it, and then it would be right back where we were.
Right, right. Gotcha. I'm going to answer this question here real quick. It says, will you ladies be actually investigating? We will not leave her hanging. If we cannot have her with some closure tonight, then absolutely. Aaron and I and Brandy will travel to South Missouri and we will help her for sure.
Mhm.
Absolutely, we will help her. Okay. Aaron, have you picked up anything yet?
Yeah. So, okay. So let me go through my my stuff. Okay, so trying to figure out where to start.
I want to see if you're leaning towards where I'm leaning, because I think I already might have a little answer, but go ahead.
Well, so first off, I personally, I do not feel like this is anything dark around you at all. I really don't. I believe, honestly, there is some sort of childhood trauma possibly centered around you. And that is kind of where things, I want to say started. It didn't, but you didn't understand. Does that make sense? So it started it. Childhood trauma.
Aaron, can I interrupt you real quick?
Yeah.
I seen Michael Christopher's on there. He says, I'm willing to help in any way I can.
Michael, and he
Michael,
can do remote.
if you want to chime in, comment,
Yeah.
or message me privately, I will send you the link, and you're more than welcome to hop
And-
on.
Yeah, jump on in, Mike, please.
And
Come on, and we
wonderful
can
thing
use all the
about
help here.
Michael, and the wonderful thing about Michael is he can do remote.
Mhm.
He can do remote. He has been working with remote cleansings, remote home cleansings and stuff. And I trust that man very much. He is a wonderful, wonderful man. So if he says something too, I will definitely back him up. So
Well, Sam,
absolutely.
he works with our kids too, so that
He
just
does.
goes
He
to
works
show
with
you
our
what kind of
kids.
guy
I
he
trust
is.
him very much. So Sam, if he says something, go with it too.
Okay.
But again, I see some childhood trauma that where it started, which trauma tends to be
He's at work, so
an
That's okay.
escalator to abilities. You first off, you have a grandmother figure around you, like really strong. Really strong. I don't know if you've had a grandmother pass, but you have an older female that is around you extremely strong. But she is very protective of you. And I feel like this is in a good way. This is not in a bad way or a negative way at all.
Could be great grandmother.
It could be. I mean, it's just, it feels like a grandmother. It is a
Like
guide.
my
Let's just say
great-
that because you are sensitive. I'm sorry. I'm going to throw that out there right now. You are sensitive. That is a big part of what is going on. Krista knows that I was tapping into this before even the show, that I just feel, oh, she's sensitive. I know it. I know it. And after hearing you talk about it and stuff in the very beginning and then writing everything down that I need to hear without hearing everything that you guys were talking about, I know without a doubt that you are sensitive. And so this grandmother figure, I feel is it's more of a guide instead of with regular people. We have loved ones that are around us. This is someone that it could even be generations.
She said her great aunt.
Her great aunt. Okay.
Like my grandma's sister.
Yeah, it's a grandmother figure, which is not a mother. It's that second level of love. If that that's what I mean by that. And this is somebody who is kind of just, she is over you a lot. And she is kind of helping guide a lot of things. You have dreams about her, things like that. You are literally, and I see it more in childhood than I do now. But you are surrounded by dead people, which tells me again well,
not in a bad way.
not
in a bad way.
Hold
surrounded
on,
by
Aaron.
people as in
Hell.
you see spirit. You see spirit. I see this more as a child than I do as an adult. I think that you saw things that you did not realize were not living. Now you're experiencing it in a different way. If that makes sense. Now you're experiencing it as like creepy, weird crap. As opposed to as a kid, you're like, oh, this is what's going on. And you think it's all like normal. I don't know if I'm trying to make it make sense, but that's how I see it. You know, as normal when you're a kid, as opposed to abnormal when you're an adult and you're like, okay, this is weird. I don't like it. But you are very much surrounded by it. Sorry, I was doing some automatic writing too. Do you have a brother? Two? Okay. Whoever this is, whoever is around you a lot, They love the people around you, and it said as well as your brothers. So whoever this is, that's where I got that they are a family member.
Mm-hmm.
And that they're there to protect you. This is not anything bad, that this is something good. Now, the other things that you see in other locations, sometimes those are spirit, because that has to filter into your abilities as well. So you have people around you that sometimes you experience things, and those are your loved ones. And then you'll have also things that are part of the location that you're at. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, things tend to go like this. Also, I hear a lot of buzzing and ringing in your ears.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you get a lot of that. If you do, that is your loved ones around you. And so just kind of recognize if you hear that or you feel that sensation, that is your
ears all the time.
Pardon me?
I get ringing in my ears all the time.
Okay, because I'm getting a lot of that. I feel it's a lot. And that coincides with your loved ones. That's why I was saying, like, they're around you a lot. This mother figure, this like elderly mother figure, she is very protective of you. I have this very strong sense of that. She sees you not as a secondary relative. She sees you as a daughter figure. Like, that is it's a very close bond. Mm-hmm. So that's where that buzzing, if you feel that and hear that, just know that she's in your vicinity. And so just maybe take a minute to take a breath and look at that. As for things around you, I really do not believe that they are negative. I really truly believe that you're part of being sensitive, and that the locations that you're at, they're just haunted. So that's the way it is.
Michael asked her, do you feel a sense of anxiety prior to seeing a spirit person?
Like coincidentally,
right before,
I'm anxious and then I see something, or
yes,
not so much here, but at the business I did.
Okay.
Like, I stayed anxious there. Like, it had my anxiety very, very high there.
So let me explain something to you about that. So you have, and Aaron and Brandy know where I'm going with this. Mm-hmm. Being a sensitive type person, you have like a light bulb on your head. And as you start using it more, your light bulb is going to get brighter. And spirits see you have this light bulb on your head. So they are going to come to you more and more often. So maybe that's why you see these shadow figures, but others don't, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So honestly, like, and after the show too, we can 100% help you with all of this too. I mean, yes. 110%. So, but just wanted to let you know that a lot of what you see is because of your light bulb on your head.
Right.
And I told her that.
Right. And like what Michael was saying, that anxiety feeling, what I thought was a panic attack for years. Yeah. I thought it was a panic attack because I would get this vibration feeling that comes over my body. Yeah. And
real quick too, Damien says, ringing ears, early morning, go out and walk on nice green, wet grass, ground yourself. And absolutely, that's something we can talk about too.
Yes.
After also.
That's always a beautiful thing to do. Damien, that is a beautiful thing to do. Just go and put yourself in the freaking grass when it's damp. Oh, that is like,
Right. And
Michael, I don't even care if it's damp. I like the grass. It just feels good on your feet.
When it's damp and it's dewy though, oh gosh, it's just like, it feels so good. Yes, but like Michael said, he gets that same sensation. Like, for me, it felt like an anxiety attack. And so for years, when spirits would come close into my bubble, I would think, oh, I'm getting an anxiety attack, because I get this vibration feeling. And psychology wise, I associated that with a panic attack. Years later, I figured out that that's not what it was. Mm-hmm. So what we're saying is that, things that you're going to feel or hear, they're different for everybody. Everybody feels spirit differently. We all kind of have there's like lots of subcategories we all can relate to. Like kind of Michael probably feels the same, like the vibration feeling, and that tingling sensation. You might get a ringing in your ears. So just pay attention to that. And it's just your body noticing that there is an energy change.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
I want her to talk about now. There's other things, and there a lot of this I had discussed with her before. So I'm glad you're saying it because it's just like I said, this is all a validation thing. I kind of figured that she had a gift of some sort, and what I think she does is she has her open sign on all the time,
Right.
and she needs to learn how to flip it to the close sign.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
she can have her piece too.
So
I didn't think it was anything malicious because out of all these years, I've not noticed anything malicious.
Mhm.
But I want her to tell you about what happened in her home just recently. This is how this whole interview began because it was concerning to me, and I would like to know a little bit more about it. So tell me about your doors, Sam.
Okay. See, I forgot about it because so much stuff happens. So, the other day, which I think it really was like last week, my boyfriend fell asleep on the couch. So me and my daughter just went to bed because I couldn't get him to wake up because you know how guys are. So I was like, "You're sleeping out here," and we came into the room and he comes in to get ready for work, and my phone just starts going off, and he's calling me, and I'm disoriented, just waking up like at 6 a.m. Why is he calling me? And he was like, "Why is the door locked?" And I was like, "Are you outside?" Like I didn't know what was going on. And he was like, "No, the bedroom door." And he had been calling me for like 15 minutes prior to this. I just wasn't waking up. So I get out of bed and unlock the door, and he's annoyed with me thinking I got mad, locked him out. Like I don't know. And I was like, I did not, like, why would I lock the bedroom door? Like that's stupid. And so then the day goes on, and I don't remember if it was that, you might remember what I told you, but if it was that same night or the next day, he went to our daughter's room to get her a diaper and an outfit, and her door was locked. And he was like, "Sam," because he really doesn't believe stuff. He does now more so that he witnessed what happened at the business I bought, but he still is like, "Yeah, okay," with some of the stuff I do say. Mm-hmm. But he was like, "Sam, like this door," and I was like, "It's not me. Like I promise I'm not." Like he thought I was playing tricks on him. Like I was like, "I promise it's not me." And he was like, "Well, I don't know how to pick this lock. Like we literally couldn't get it open." And Brittany made a good point because she was like, "If this continues to happen, like what if your daughter is in a room and the door, like it locks and you can't?" And I was like, "Yeah, we're going to have to change the door handle." But that was just 4 or 5 days ago that happened. Mm-hmm. And even still, Nick brought it up the other day and he was just like, "Isn't that just weird?"
Right.
Well, yeah, they've never had a problem with the door handles until now, and then it was twice in the day.
24 hours.
24 hours.
This makes me laugh because
yeah, I know.
Aaron knows where I'm going with this.
You know.
So Aaron's friendly ghost at her house locks me in her garage at 2:00 in the morning.
Oh God.
True story. So I'm calling everybody. It locked in her garage and everybody's sleeping. I'm like, what the heck am I gonna do?
She's calling me from her phone at 2 a.m. and I didn't answer. No. And I was banging on the door. Finally, the dog started barking loud enough or something, and I don't remember who let me in, but yeah, and finally woke people up because Aaron's friendly ghost, and that was twice. Yes,
it's twice that happened to me.
Twice that happened to me. Probably 2 or 3 times as well. I've had the same thing, kind of like what Sam you're talking about, and Krista knows that there was a period of time where my ghost was locking me out, locking my son out, and not just like the regular door. It was like the deadbolt, where like you would have to switch it, and it's at weird times of the night. It's not just you can walk out and lock the door. It was very odd. And even, everybody else in the house had experienced that. And even Krista, staying at my house, got locked out in the garage when she went to go sneak a smoke out there. And
remember, Brandy, when we were just at Aaron's, I told you, don't go in her garage because
don't go in her garage.
We didn't either. We didn't. No, I'm like, no, I'm not getting locked out there.
And what's funny is it started doing it again. So Colin had that happen. So anyways, I get your pain. You know what I did, Sam, to help with that, and maybe this will help you as well. I went in and I walked through the house and I said, okay, listen here, you guys. You can hang out in this area. That's fine. But do not mess with the locks, because that keeps me from protecting my children and protecting my home and protecting my animal safety. And I went through the house and I said that, and I was very demanding when I said it. And it stopped for a long time. It's been like, what, a year, Krista?
Mhm.
Until now, it started back up again. And we just have a lot of changes going on in my home right now. So I can understand why it's kind of started up again. It's kind of their way of showing me again that they're around. I think is kind of the thing. To me, it feels like a protective measure when they lock the doors, not a being annoying or being disruptive. They're trying to be protective when they do that. So try that, Sam. Go through your home and just be very strong and assertive and say, excuse me, you cannot do this. You can do some other things, move my tape around or
Just set your boundaries.
Sam,
yeah,
Just like
maybe
set your
make
boundaries.
Coffee if you want. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Sam, have you
start
done
the
a
dishwasher.
cleansing? Have you done a cleansing yet in your home? No. Okay. Well, I highly suggest starting with doing a cleansing, and you've never done one, so you don't know how or anything.
So we'll have to walk her through that.
That or
Well, the interesting thing is that I don't think it's her home. I honestly do not think.
No. She still needs to do the cleansing because her light bulb is on in her head, which is open, and any Tom, Dick, and Harry can come in.
All right, this is the next question that I'm coming up to.
So there is still,
if she does the cleansing in that home, okay, she moves.
Mhm.
Is this going to start happening again?
She's going to have to continue to do cleansings.
Okay, there you go.
real quick.
There's your answer.
Real quick, Michael asked, Sam, would you mind if I remotely clear your house? I am able to do it right now if you're okay with it. No pressure to say yes if you're uncomfortable. Are you cool with that, Sam?
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah,
Go for it,
he's
Michael.
wonderful. He is.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Sam, he's not a creepy guy. I know
he's
Michael.
awesome.
He is a good one. He's
He
a
is
good
awesome.
Yes,
So,
Yeah,
yes, that is
he's
very much
really good.
appreciated, Michael.
And that is very appreciative. Thank you, Michael. That takes
Well, because
energy and that takes work to do that.
Right
So thank
now,
you.
right now, Sam is in her basement part of her home,
Mhm.
and this seems to be one of her I don't like spots.
Mhm.
She does not like the basement. Now, I've been in the basement, but of course, there was a lot of people there. It was for a function that she had, and there was a lot of people in there. So, there was a lot of vibrations going around. Of course, I didn't feel a thing. You get all that going, and it just all cancels itself out. So you can't feel anything. I didn't notice anything, and honestly, the basement's not creepy to look at it. You know how you go down the basement and it's just creepy to look at? Hers is nice. It's not.
I
Doesn't have to be.
Yes,
creepy.
it doesn't have, she does not have a bad energy around her. And honestly, I think a lot of the energy that she has coming around her is, I would believe that the person before who lived there would not have felt it.
I don't mean to
comes out-
interrupt you, Aaron, but since Michael is working on her, he said he'll begin there in the basement. Let him know if you feel a change in the atmosphere. So,
Okay.
Sam, interrupt us at any time if you feel anything.
If you
off,
feel
different,
lighter,
good, bad,
happier,
whatever.
anything. If you feel anything different.
Yeah. But on going back to talking about the cleansing. So when you're sensitive like that, you have to have boundaries, and they have to understand this is your rules. It's not on their terms, it's your terms. And we can help you to learn to open and close that. I actually used to teach this a long time ago, so I have no problems helping you one-on-one. But it's you have to learn to open and close. You also need to learn to protect yourself every day. You need to do the white light. You need to pray. You're a Christian. Pray and know that the blood of Jesus is covered. You're covered in the blood of Jesus every day. Sometimes it may take 3, 4, 5 times a day you know, when you really start doing the white light and knowing you're protected, you will actually feel the warmth. Am I correct on that, Erin and Brandy? You
Mhm.
actually feel
Yeah.
the warmth. When you can't feel that warmth anymore, it's time to do it again. So I do know that you have a daughter, and you can also do that for her, because I know
Yes.
she's a baby.
Yes.
So you also, when you do it for yourself, you want to do that for your daughter to keep her safe and protected. Because let me tell you something, this stuff, a lot of it is hereditary. It runs in families. So I wouldn't be surprised if your daughter doesn't grow up and she starts seeing things as well. But you're
Yeah,
right.
that's,
You're
I
at
wanted to bring that up in the next segment after we went to break.
Okay.
Because she does have concerns about that.
and that's something.
And that very well could happen. And that's,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what to say except for crap.
Yeah.
I mean, like, my son is too. I have one that is
Yeah.
more so than I am. Honestly, he's going to be better than I am.
Mhm. Yeah.
And, you know, all I do is he's 13 and I embrace him and I embrace it and I'm honest with him.
Mhm.
And I let him into my world. I don't shield him from it. Now, I do not take him on investigations like that. However, I do take him on investigations because he is so now run forward with it that I have to be able to keep a leash on him. So, and I think a lot of that is because I'm very much, I just embrace it in the sense of you do you, boo boo. You know, we're going to talk about it and we're going to discuss it.
Right.
And
I
that
think
could
what
be where
Erin's
your
trying to
daughter's
say
at. Huh?
is I think what Erin's trying to say is that giving you the knowledge and making you understand what it is that you possess, your sensitivity, whatever, but finding out exactly what you're dealing with and learning to address it will help you embrace your daughter as she grows if you notice things happening.
So
And
is
you
your
may even
daughter
notice it
feel-
now. That
I
doesn't
see a
mean she
baby.
will keep it.
I
Like
feel
she may-
like it got like heavier in here.
It
It
did
did?
get heavier in there.
Well, my eyes started watering, and that's like a thing that happens when like things happen.
And that's probably the starts of him doing the clearing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or you're starting to feel it.
You're
Yeah.
starting to feel the energy start to pull.
Mhm.
So I would say that's probably what it is. So just keep paying attention to those
Bear with
feelings.
it for a little longer.
Yep.
It's like hot.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
And that to
I'm
me is
short.
You're
that
getting
to
hot.
me is
You're like,
telling me that
Yes.
you're kind of going through, you're feeling the energy change.
it's working.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And,
So
It's working.
and here's the thing too. What we're going to have to go to break here in just a few minutes, but you also have to know that Michael is doing it right now, but Michael just said you'll feel like a vacuum effect. So that
Right.
means-
So that's probably where she's getting that anxiety
Yeah.
feeling and
Yeah.
that like
And her eyes are
you know,
watering.
yeah.
Yeah.
her eyes
So-
are watering is because the energy is changing. He's pulling that negative and trying to put positive. It's like baking.
it's
You know when you
transmitting
put all
energy,
the
what he
ingredients
said.
in there and the flour and then you go and you mix it all together and then you start adding the eggs and you start adding the milk and the oil. It's that gradual change from a very powder consistency to a very liquid consistency. You're gradually adding things and it's going to change the whole feel of the whole room.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
They're
mixing the batter before he bakes the cake.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, also, do you have okay, so let's get back on the cleansing, because
Yes.
Michael's helping you out right now. But here, I would suggest at the start right now, until you get used to this, to do a cleansing yourself. At least, I would say, once a week in your own home.
Yes.
So
And cleansing yourself as a person. So I will tell you right now. So I love cleansing myself and also my kids. At first, all my boys, I've got 5 boys altogether. All my boys were like, no, you are not blowing sage on me and you're not going to do your little woo-woo stuff on me. I mean, we were talking about teenage boys. And they would get so embarrassed when their friends would come over and I'd try to sage all their friends because they're teenage boys and they are the devil. So
Right.
try to sage all of them. However,
Right.
it feels
like,
so
yeah, that's funny
good.
that they don't want you to put the woo woo out there. You know, they're like,
No.
"Mom, no woo woo.
No woo-woos, Mom.
No
No,
woo
no, no.
woo."
However, my boys now, they know on every Sunday, well, I only, all of them are at college now, but they know on Sundays that I would go and I would sage the house. And at the end of the evening, before they go to bed, I would sage them and I would say all these wonderful things and they love it. So what you do is when you sage yourself, you can put that sage.
Hey, wait a minute, Aaron, stop a minute.
Hold on, we're
Let
going
me
to talk
ask you-
about that in a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, because we
We're
got
going
to
to have to go to break here in about a minute here. So let's save that for when we come
Okay.
back from break, and then we'll
Perfect.
explain to her and everybody else how
We're going to say,
how you sage yourself.
yeah,
yourself
we're going to
and
say
in your
goodbye to the
home.
radio stations.
Yep, and we'll explain how we
Bye-bye.
do cleanse yourself and how you cleanse a house and
Yeah, how you cleanse yourself, how you cleanse your house, and
yeah.
how you cleanse
Absolutely.
teenage boys.
And we'll see in the next 5 minutes how Sam's doing with the clearing and the cleansing of her home,
Yep.
Yes.
remote cleansing, and see how this is really cool because we're doing it live.
Really quick though, we do have to go to break. But Sam, if at any time we'll be on break, you have Brandy's number. If anything freaks you out in the next 5 minutes because you're going to be on mute, you call her. Okay.
So go
Okay.
upstairs, get a drink, go potty, whatever.
All right, guys, we'll be back. Stay tuned. Be back in 5 minutes.
Bye.
Four minutes to go, folks. 4 minutes. Three minutes. We're almost there. Two-minute warning, guys. 2-minute warning. 1 minute. 1 minute.
Hey, everybody. We're back without Erin. I don't know where
Whatever happened.
she was here, and then she just now went off. So I don't know where she went.
I don't know what happened.
Oh, she's coming back. I just got to let her in.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, there's her hand. There it is.
There she is. You can tell her she's been working. Erin, you can tell when you work, because I can tell that your hair, it's like I watch you start pulling your hair back behind your ears when you start working. You know, when you start reading, your hair goes back, and the next thing you know, it's in a ponytail. It's like when she's getting serious, that hair goes back.
Okay, Samantha. So, did you feel anything for those 5 minutes? Was anything?
It's just weird. Like, it's always weird down here, but it's like extra weird. And that's probably just sounds like traumatic or whatever, but it is different. And I thought I heard something, and I texted Nick, and he's in the recliner with my daughter. So it wasn't him. I don't know what that was, but she, my dog looked over there is what got my attention. So I don't know.
Okay. Well, good deal. I don't know where Erin is.
Sorry.
There she
Oh.
is.
Oh, that's fine. Erin, anyway, so what I had done on my break is, and Erin can talk a little bit about this. I went in and started you a crystal pack. It's not only for protection, but it's also to keep your safe places calm. Should I say? I'm going to say calm. So that means if you want to put, you know, if we do the cleansing, we can go into your daughter's room, we can do your bedroom or the living room, wherever you feel your safe space is. And then when you decide what area that you want to allow whatever's there, you want to have that could be their space, then we'll leave that one alone. But
Well,
all of this stuff, I've got
yeah.
amethyst, I got Apache tears, I've got some tourmaline, I got some sage, and I put it all in a bundle. It's being cleansed right now, so that way to be nice and clear and ready to work for you.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I don't feel anything bad. I never have.
Yeah, I haven't either, Brandy. I agree with you. I agree with you.
After all these years, I've not felt anything.
No, this is
nasty.
This is all like family, and also just
random roamers, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, Brandy. Well, Brandy knows this, and so is Krista and Sam. We're gonna let you know this, and a lot of people maybe out there who need to know this: that when you are sensitive, you're going to get a lot of uncomfortable feelings, and you're going to get a lot of things that happen that aren't great. But you need to remember at the end of the day that this was somebody's grandmother. This was somebody's brother. This was somebody's son or uncle or aunt or mother. And that's how you need to see it. And then it's not so scary.
Right.
Sometimes that's the best way that I can look at it, is that I have the luxury of being able to feel when those people are around me. And
just remember this too. Everybody has heard me preach. If someone is good in life, they're good in death. So remember that. I genuinely like to think most people are good, you know.
Right.
So if you go with that attitude also, and like I said, this we can never totally finish helping you tonight. This will have to go off camera, like, and do some one-on-one. But we will give you a start tonight, something to do tonight. And as far as, you know, the white light and all that good stuff, and grounding, I totally agree with people, you know, with grounding and you know, and clearing the energy off yourself
Yeah.
too. And,
Yeah.
and even with you being a sensitive, I'm going to tell you something. You're going to go to a grocery store and everybody there has all different kinds of emotions. There's happy people, there's sad people, there's mad people, there's excited people. And you're going to pick up on all the emotions because I 100% feel you're an empath as well. And,
Mhm.
you're going to have to, you know, get in your car and you're going to have to clear everybody you walk past, you know, at Walmart.
That's probably why I don't go anywhere because like my anxiety, I'm not a shy person.
Right.
So for me to have like social anxiety, it kind of like they counteract one another.
Yeah.
But it's like that makes sense because I'm like
Mhm.
so drained when I'm around other
Yep.
people.
Yeah, well,
Mhm.
let me explain something to you. So for many years, I could not go into Walmart, and
I still
didn't.
can't. I hate
Everybody,
it.
like my kids, everybody
Go there
told
for
me.
the Christmas decorations.
Seriously, we would pull up to Walmart, and I'm like, I can't go in there. I can't do it, and I didn't know why. I thought I was crazy. I would get dizzy. I would get a panic attack, and I mean, my family
get
looked
dizzy
at
in
me like I
Walmart.
was. Yeah,
Yes.
my
And I blame it
family
on the
looked at me like I
fluorescents.
was crazy. Yes, I totally get what you're saying. So I actually went to the doctor for it, and I was diagnosed with anxiety. The doctor put me on Paxil. I took Paxil for over 20 years. And this has been about 10 years ago. I found Sarah Lamos, and I thought I was going crazy. I was hearing voices at night. I couldn't shut it off. I was like you. I seen shadow
Is
figures.
that something that happens like when you're about to fall asleep?
Right.
Yes.
You hear a name?
Yes.
Just, I mean, I swear that like I hear people talk.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I'm almost
And it's
asleep
not
and
just
it's like
and it's
boom.
not just hear your name or hear people talk. Like I notice when I do it, I will jerk. Like I will feel my body move
Yeah.
too because I will physically respond to it as well.
Yeah.
I'll hear it and I'll physically do something
makes
to
you
respond
jump,
to
yeah.
it.
But let me tell you something. Let me go back to the Walmart thing here. So Sarah Lamos, she 110% helped me. And she told me, she said, you don't need medicine. You need to learn how to control this on your terms, not their terms. And once I learned the grounding and the cleansing and the protection exercises, and I started praying, honest to God, it's been 10 years now and I haven't taken an anxiety pill since. I control it. I don't have panic attacks. I can freely walk in any mall. I can go to any festival, any fair, and I would never do that before. I couldn't be around people.
Right.
So it's everybody's energy that is coming onto you, making you have these anxiety and panic attacks. So
Mhm.
yeah, but and once you learn how to, we help you, you'll be good. You can go to Walmart, won't
Yeah.
be a big deal.
Well, I mean, you can go to Walmart and I still get pissed off. I'm sorry, I do.
Yeah.
I'm good, say it. But I
Yeah.
don't get as pissed.
Right. But when it goes back, Erin, do you want to explain to her? Let's start with the protection exercises with the white light, what she needs to do.
So,
And this
okay,
is something
so
you do
definitely-
tonight.
To what? What say?
This is something she needs to do tonight.
Okay, so okay, I'm gonna give you two different scenarios. Okay, so first off, a daily basis, and this is for everybody. Anyone who's listening that needs to kind of clear their energy and start from like ground zero again, this is a perfect exercise for that. When you go into the shower, imagine, well, first off, the shower water is hitting the top of your head. I usually just kind of place my hands on the shower wall. I let that water hit the top of my head and just run down. And I imagine that it is washing off literally dirt. That dirt, though, is everybody else's emotions and their feelings and things that do not serve me.
Mhm. I just
And I
want to say
imagine it
something too
running
real
down.
quick for the people that's on here watching. What Erin is explaining, you don't have to have abilities
No.
to
This
do
is
this.
for
I suggest
anybody.
it for anybody because it does clear your mind and it clears your energy. So,
It's a wonderful meditation and
Yep.
chakra. This is a chakra clearing and a meditation clearing exercise. It's beneficial for people with abilities, and it's beneficial for anybody because we
It's
all need
good
to
for your
reset.
soul.
And
Mhm.
honestly, at the end of the day, my belief is that we all have abilities to some degree.
Mhm. I
So,
agree.
I mean, if we all have abilities to some degree, these exercises are good for everyone.
Yeah. Sorry, I
saying.
didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was just
No,
letting
you're fine.
everybody else know that they can listen in and do this too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you just let the water run down, and you imagine it running from the top of your head and just running down and into the drain. And imagining every chakra area and clearing that area with dirt. The dirt is coming off. So your chakra areas are in the middle of your forehead. Okay, right here. Well, first off, you have one at the top of your head. Okay.
Mhm.
Then you have one in the middle of your forehead, your chest area. And then here, I'm going to stand up and kind of show everybody so they kind of know what areas they need to visualize. Okay. So, excuse me. So then you have your chest area. Then you have this area. And then you have your lower area. And then you have your root, which that's, basically your tailbone is what that is. So you just kind of envision all of those areas. You kind of stop at all those areas. Whoop, sorry. You stop at all those areas, and then you kind of envision
Yeah,
each
and the
one.
throat chakra too.
Oh God, did I miss the throat? Oh, I did miss the throat. I'm sorry. It's because I don't need a throat chakra clearing. I talk enough.
She has no problem there. I don't
That's
think
how
any
you
of
all
us do.
know that I don't need that cleared.
I'm
No,
not
none of us
yawning
have
at
that
you.
problem.
I keep looking like I'm yawning, and I'm not yawning at you. I feel like my ears need to pop,
That's probably because of the pressure change from what Michael
and I'm
did.
trying to get them to pop. And they
Yeah, because
won't.
he
I
was
don't-
talking about the vacuum effect.
Oh,
There you
so
go.
like imagine like if you're on an airplane, like how you need to chew gum?
Yeah, that's what this feels like.
Yeah.
So that's probably the whole sensation.
It's
So,
working, in other
you-
words.
You just kind of clear that area. That's what you can do on a daily basis.
Mhm.
Now, for right now, when it comes to what Krista had talked about with like the white light and the clearing, personally, you imagine yourself in your favorite place. And this is something that Krista had told me years ago to do when I first was doing this stuff. And imagine your favorite place. My personal favorite place is in my backyard. I imagine my feet in the ground. I can feel that grass. And you just feel the sun hit your body. And you know what that feels like when you're outside, you just feel that heat. Only you know that is God's love. And you imagine it hitting the top of your head and running down your entire body. And you just envision yourself in that moment. You're in your favorite place and that sun is hitting you. Only that sun is God's love and his light. And he is hitting every part of your body, even in between your fingertips. It's just every part of your body to where then you get down to your feet. Once you get to your feet, you imagine yourself just growing into the ground. That you are rooted to that grass. You feel that grass. You feel the coldness of that grass, the dampness, all of that. You feel that. And then you just tell yourself, I am loved and I am protected by God's light and his love as well. So you just kind of protect yourself. Then you envision a bubble. And I don't know if you've watched Twilight, but this was a perfect example of this, honestly. Because she made this little protective barrier around people. That is what you do. You make a bubble around yourself. You literally envision a bubble around yourself. Now, for your daughter, when you want to protect her, you stretch that bubble over to them. Kind of like the damn Twilight movie. I never thought in a million years I'd be referring to the Twilight movie for this, but it's very much the same. You envision yourself protecting them. And then when you move this bubble over them or yourself, nothing's going to penetrate that bubble.
And
That
also,
is
you
your
can also
protective
do that.
spot.
You can also do that on your pets. I heard you say you had a
Oh
dog.
yeah, pets.
Do that on your pets too.
Anybody that you need to give protection to, you envision them and you move that. Now, you may need to do this several times within a day. You know, it doesn't. I know, like with my son who is sensitive, I have to do it more often than the one who isn't.
Mhm.
If that makes sense. Like it just doesn't, it seems like it doesn't hold as good. I can feel it doesn't hold as good with the one who is sensitive. It breaks down faster.
Mhm.
So I have to do it more often. But I also have put him, he is at that point where I put him in, he is responsible for his own protection to a degree.
Mhm.
So.
And
Well,
that is something
this brings me to something else. Okay, so talking about her great aunt, and I'm believing that this is the one in the home. This is the one with her. This is this is the one that's been with you for years and years. But tell us about when you had to go to Las Vegas, when you had to go for your job, and your mom was at your house watching your daughter because how old's your daughter now? 2 months, 3 months?
Now at the time,
Yeah.
she was 2 months.
Okay, 2 months. And this, she's still, I still call them a newborn. They're still itty bitty. But tell them about what happened to your mom.
Well, I didn't tell her anything that has happened at this house because we've only been in it going on like a year. So, and I tell Nick sometimes, but really I just keep it to myself because it does happen so often that like I'll message Brandy or my friend Eric or like people who jive with me about it, but really I just keep it to myself. And my mom I don't remember if it was when we were gone or when we got back, but it was through a text, one of the two. And she was like, she knows like that I see things. And she was like, have you ever seen like a shadow figure in your hallway? And granted, like I've never said anything to her about it. And I was like, all the time. And that's what I was telling Brandy when I was explaining it to her, is when it got really all the time is when right after I had my daughter. Mm-hmm. So I blamed it on like sleep deprivation because I was one of those moms that's like, if I go to sleep, something's going to happen to my baby. So I literally did not sleep for probably the first month. Me and Nick would just rotate being awake. And so I was so tired. But that's when I saw the most that I've ever seen. And I told my mom, I said, I do all the time. But, I blamed, because granted, she was 2 months at the time. So I was still sleep deprived. And I was like, I thought that I was just tired and like seeing things. But her saying that, I was like, okay, it's not just me. Like, right. I'm seeing them.
So here's what I see with that. I believe like it was attracted to you. I believe it was some sort of roamer, possibly. Mm-hmm. It was attracted to you. And therefore, this goes back to where you are going to have to continue on the cleansings of your home to get rid of the roamers. But we can also do exercises where you can allow the roamers to come in, and we can talk about that off.
Right. That's off. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because that gets a little more sketchy. I hate discussing how to do that on like a video because it's individualized.
Yeah, it's intense, and it takes a lot of focus. So it's easier just to get in a setting where it's easier. This is not stressful because we just like to sit around, laugh, and talk about everything. But it's much easier when it's a one-on-one type of thing, and not in this type of setting. But I honestly thought that, that this could have been like a guardian angel or something of some sort, due to the fact is it started really ramping up after her daughter was born, or somebody
No, it's honestly, it's another sensitive. That just came out honestly, it's another sensitive. When you get, every child is sensitive. Every baby, they see them all. So you're half right, Brandy, with like saying like this is enough. It's all good energy,
Mhm.
but it's just it and it's relatives and things like that. I think that exactly what you're saying in that sense. It's relatives, it's loved ones, guardian angels, things like that. But I think it amplified because you have one main sensitive and then you just added another.
All right. I'm sorry, just a second. Chris, did you catch that comment that just came through?
Yes, I just posted it. I just asked Robbie or DA or Daryl to get rid of them. So
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Go ahead, Aaron, go ahead.
What, BS coming through?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. Yeah, they don't know. Anyways, so yes, so I think you're absolutely on the right page there, Brandy, with that. Like it's definitely family. It's just it heightened up because her daughter was born, because I mean you add another bright light in there.
Yep.
Just and those kids, damn. I mean,
Real-
they don't
real
just
quick,
cause enough ruckus as
I don't
it
mean
is.
to interrupt here, but Michael's asking again. Sam, do you connect with the name Cecilia?
Or Cece, or what's another form of Cecilia?
I don't know.
Scylla, or I don't know what other
not
names.
that I know. Maybe there
Okay.
was one, but not that I know.
Just if I were you, I would just write that name down and just be aware of that name.
Mm-hmm. Just
And ask your
or
boyfriend
anyone
too.
else in chat. He's actually asking anyone else in chat.
Oh.
Connect with the name Cecilia.
Okay.
Sorry.
Poor
Didn't get that right.
Michael. He's just gonna come into a lot
Somebody
of people's
has a
business.
Cecil, Michael. I know, too
Oh.
bad he's at work. But you know what? I will tell you guys, next Friday night, if you guys tune in right back here with us and the Texas Front Porch crew, Michael and Aaron will be doing viewer readings right here. So he just said it may be for someone else in chat, can't get it out of his head. But it looks like Rain, Michael says Cecil, if that would.
Yeah, that sounds like it was meant for him.
Yeah. So
okay,
anyway.
so that would make sense if that's a very specific name. So maybe Brain needs to connect with Michael on that one.
Yeah, that is, and I know a Cecil, but he's still living. So
yeah, and like he says, he has to say it or he'll go bonkers. That's true.
Yeah. Oh, I totally get it. You have
it's
to
like I
say
can't
it,
keep
or
my
it's
mouth
like-
shut. I gotta say it.
It's like word vomit. You literally have to puke that up, or it is going to just sit there and it'll bug you forever.
Yeah. All right. So let's get back on to Sam. So some things that she can do. So tonight, for sure, Sam, you need to do the white light. Okay.
Right.
You and your family and your pet.
Yes. And also, Sam, I don't know if some things, because I mean, me being a sensitive, I have children that are sensitive.
Yeah.
Some things that I've done for our home. One, and that's not because, I mean, yes, our property does have activity, but also we invite activity because of our light bulbs. That's how I have to see it. So I believe that where you live and where you work has activity potential. It's there. But then once you add like the bright lights to it, it kind of amplifies it, and then it all kind of goes to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah.
So anyways, you can go on Amazon even and get a salt lamp.
Mm-hmm.
I would put a salt lamp in the
Himalayan
living room.
Pink salt lamp thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have
Yep.
one.
Yep. A salt
Awesome.
lamp. Just regulars. They are literally $10 to $20 on Amazon. I can send you the link later.
She's got one. She said she has one.
Okay, great. So put one, but you need to have several. So I personally have two in my living room. I have one in the entryway area, which is the highest activity area of my home. And then I have one in the main part of the living room. And then I have one in every single room of our home. I have one in my son's room, guest room, downstairs, my bedroom. Every single room besides bathrooms have salt lamps in them, and they are going all the time. With salt lamps, you have to keep them going. If you're going to turn them off, that's fine, but just make sure you turn them on later that day, because them heating up is what's putting the positive ions, changing the negatives to the positive. That's them heating up that salt is what's changing that. So you got to give it time to heat up. So you do need to keep them running a lot. I personally do turn them off in my room, or at least dim them. I get one with a dimmer, dim them down to so low that they're barely running. Okay. Do this in your kids' room and your room. You can get also even little plugins and stuff. That helps tremendously. Also put a piece of onyx, black tourmaline, any sort of black stone, like what Brandy was discussing earlier.
I have obsidian.
Obsidian, perfect. Perfect. That is perfect.
But have you cleansed it lately?
No.
Okay. We can take care of that.
Luckily, obsidian though, they don't need to be cleansed as often, but it would be a good idea, like Brandy, like you said, like it to go ahead and just cleanse it and get it freshly charged.
When's the next full moon?
That I don't know. I'd have to Google.
I'll have to look it up.
We just had one, so it's going to be a little while. She
that's
can
all right.
cleanse it honestly with the black stones. They can take a lot more energy than clear stones. So like the quartz and things like that, you have to cleanse those and charge those more often, as opposed to a dark colored stone like obsidian, Apache tears, things like that. So she could go ahead and cleanse those, and she could put them under any moonlight. Honestly, any moonlight will charge it to a degree. When is it?
Yeah.
December 7th is the next full moon.
Okay. But I have some cleansing and charging right now, so I'll just bring them to you.
Sounds good. Yep.
Yeah.
And
And honestly, me personal, I keep all of my stones all the time in my windowsill. They stay there all the time.
And that's good. You just got to be careful with which stones you put out there, because they'll fade. Like I don't think you have any, Krista, that are fade.
I've got I don't know, some stuff that Katie Stafford gave me. I've got the big quartz that Colin gave me, that big chunk. I've got what Brandy gave me here a couple weeks ago, and some
those are all good.
Quartz crystals. I got some black tourmaline, all that good stuff.
Oh, those are all love right there. That's what you need. That's all love.
So just we'll get with you, Sam, and make sure you're set with your stones and whatnot. But honestly, you could probably just, as it is, put whatever dark colored stones that you have, put them above your child's doorway, your doorway, like around the ledge of the door, and just say, you know what, whatever is not positive and does not have good intentions is not welcome here.
Yep.
And that's what I said. I got you all good small pieces that will fit on the ledge above the door. So they'll fit.
Horseshoe nails. I'm a firm believer in the horseshoe nails.
Yes. Krista loves those horseshoe nails. That's her thing.
Yep. So you can take them. Iron repels negative stuff. So even like if you have a cast iron skillet, anything iron, but horseshoe nails are cheap, and you can get a bunch of them at a fair price, and put them in your windowsill or even around the corners of your property, that kind of thing too. But let's explain to her about cleansing, and then we'll probably cut the show and explain to her how to do a house cleansing and cleanse herself, her and everybody else out there.
So with cleansing a home, how I start is it's based on preference. Krista and I do it different. But it's both the right ways. Neither one of us are doing it wrong. Right, exactly. It's based off of individual preference. I go counterclockwise while Krista goes clockwise, if that makes sense. So you start at the front of your home, which the front of your home is your front door. Always your front door. So I start counterclockwise. So I have a split level home. So I go up the stairs and go to my living room first. Krista, being in a split level home, would go to the left, which would go down the stairs.
House, and that's how I did do it.
Huh?
I have cleansed your house. And
you have cleansed my house. You've helped me. And yes, so she goes down to the basement and goes into the rec room area. How I do it and how Krista does it, they're both the same way. They both have the same intention. They both do a beautiful job. It's just how you feel you need to do it and where your direction goes. And that's for everybody. So I go to the right. So I go upstairs. I go to the living room first. What I'm doing is I have a seashell or a abalone shell. Whatever works for you is up to you. I have sage. I personally, like, a lot of people will burn the whole bundle, the whole sage stick. I will take pieces of the sage.
Let me interrupt you. Is this going to like stir things up?
Generally, in a more negative setting, I would say that there is the potential. For yours, I say it just calms the environment.
Yeah, that's what the goal is to calm it down. I mean, because
Yes.
you're already sensitive to it. So it's kind of like we don't want to shut you off. We just want it to calm down. So when you're in your home, this is your safe place. We're not looking to stir anything up. We want it to be calm so you can rest and feel easy and enjoy being at home, because like I said, that is our safe place. That's where we should feel the safest, is in our homes. So that's what we're going to try and do, is calm it down. So when you're at home, now when you go to Walmart, we're sorry. You're out
You're
there.
on your own.
Yeah, you're on your own when you go to Walmart. Wear some crystals, put them in your bra, put them in your pockets, I don't know, braid them up in your hair, but you're on your own when you do that. But when you're at home, what we want to do is we want it to stay calm. And so you feel relaxed. When you sleep, we want you to rest.
Right. Right.
We don't want you to have broken sleep, and we don't want you, to feel uneasy. And then just, because with me, I wake up all the time. I don't know why. I just do. I sleep for a couple hours at a time, and then I wake up for a couple hours, and it's very difficult to do that. But what we want you to do, being a new mom and everything, is when you rest, we want you to rest deeply, soundly, peacefully. And that's what the whole thing about the cleansing is, because we don't want to stop you.
You're not banishing anything with it. You're not banishing it.
I'm staying open to it. It's just I'm trying to get it to bother me less.
Exactly. It's like taking a Midol with cramps.
Good one.
Fair. Fair.
Good
Good.
one.
Still, you're
Giving it a Midol.
Still hurts. But that Midol takes the edge off to where you're like, okay, I can deal with this. And I can get through my day, and I don't have to like sit here and think about it all the time.
So
Sage is Midol.
Brandy. So me being like sensitive or whatever you guys are referring to it, is this why like I just know things?
Absolutely.
Thank you for
Oh
laughing.
God,
because
yes.
Thank you.
You're not crazy, and I'm going to tell you something else. You're not haunted.
Okay.
No, you're not haunted. You just
Nope.
have dead people around you. So
I love
You
that. I'm
see-
gonna sleep.
You
so
see
good
dead
tonight.
people. Welcome to the group.
Yeah.
I was just making sure, because I told Brandy like I just know things, and it kind of weirds me out. So I know it weirds people out who like I'm talking to, but I guess that they're all like tied together.
and that is
Well-
that's a sign of one of the clairs. I'll talk to you. I mean, I could talk to you about later. I know we're planning on doing a show about the different clairs and whatnot. Knowing is definitely one. Clairaudient, like when you're hearing people and you're hearing conversations, that's definitely one. I get a very strong feeling though that you are clairvoyant. I feel like you have a lot of dreams and you have a lot of visions though. I think that clear knowing transfers into clairvoyant.
Yeah. So Rain said real quick, and I agree, ask them what they want. Communication is key. And you know what, tomorrow, like I will be happy to sit down and talk with you. I know Aaron would too. And then we can talk about some of that stuff, because I mean, they're right. You're going to have to eventually let them in and get the message out and then send them back.
Yeah, because we can all come on and do it like this, but just in private.
Right. So again,
like I got to tell you something too. This is kind of funny. Robbie says, "Crazy are those of us who go looking for Bigfoot or Dogman." Sam, you were fine. LOL.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I just a little bit of an insight on this. Now Sam has investigated with me, even in her own location.
Yeah.
Now, any of you that have investigated with me, they know I carry my Yoda suitcase with me. In my Yoda suitcase, I have my little Yoda, right? Sam is the reason why I have my emotional support chicken.
When I got
She is.
scared, I'd squeeze it.
Now, this chicken is one of those rubber chickens. When you squeeze it, it makes the chicken noise, the really loud chicken noise. Anyway, it has a little shirt on and it says an emotional support chicken.
Yeah.
So Sam, one night, I said, here, if you get scared, I said, just squeeze this. I'll come running. So she had a hoodie on and she stuck it in the front pocket. Well, every time she would bend down to pick up a piece of equipment or something like that, then you'd hear this chicken go off. So here I would come running, thinking something's wrong, and it's this chicken. She goes, no, I just bent down. I just bent down. I really did. I'm not scared.
If you
You
want your
spent-
investigation messed up or to laugh the whole time, just bring me.
So it is
You
because of
essentially
her. I
spent
carried
all
this
of
chicken
your-
around
all
with
of
me
your
everywhere.
freebies with her on that.
Yep.
So I carry the chicken. Okay. But anyway, on with what I was meaning about this story is, yes, she has investigated with me. She is interested in the paranormal. She should be.
And she's interested in the paranormal because that's generally also another sign of being being sensitive, because you are aware that there is something different. There is something not right with something.
Right.
I don't know how else to explain it but saying the word something. So, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that she's interested in the paranormal and she's investigating.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I mean, and that you watch the shows, you watch all that stuff because you
Right
know
there.
that there's something beyond.
Yeah. And we really need to do, we do all need to get together in private and talk, because we need to discuss the things that she's going to have to do to protect herself when she does investigate. Because we've talked about it. We're going to do a couple things in the future because she's ready to get out and start doing it again. That we
So
can do to protect her.
Let's not do it until she's comfortable doing these protection exercises.
Right.
Right, but that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about in the future. To protect her, to protect her daughter, to make sure she doesn't drag these things home, since she's so open at the moment and doesn't know how to shut it down. Her open sign still says open, and she hasn't flipped it yet.
Right.
So we do need to discuss how we're that she can do that.
And honestly, with her, I personally believe that I probably need to make a weekend trip to go out there. I think that there is a lot more one-on-one with her. I mean, Sam, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I just feel like this is probably more of a one-on-one situation. Krista, I'm sure you would probably be totally fine with doing that too.
Oh yeah.
So anyways, but to get back to like the home clearing, you go through the home burning sage. I personally, what I use is I have some beautiful feathers that I've gotten from some Native American tribes and whatnot, but you can use anything. You can use your hand, you can use a piece of paper, it does not matter. It's all about intention. People need to realize that when it comes to saging your home or saging yourself, it's all about that inner self. You do not need to have all of these weird little objects or all these little medallions or crosses or figurines or anything like that. It's all about within yourself, because that is where it counts. So when you are going through your home, you need to burn that sage. That sage is what envelops that moment. Okay, so do you need sage? Yes, you do need sage. One, it chemically changes the environment of the room. And two, it chemically changes some parts of your brain because you're breathing that in. So you're wafting. What I do, I have my shell, I have my sage, I have it burning. I have a feather and I'm wafting it. Now, what am I saying during these moments? I am saying positive words. Positive words. I want only love and light, beautiful people in this room. I want only laughter in this room. Everything else that is negative needs to leave, is not welcome. Anything that does not serve you.
Adjective, just like Aaron said.
Right, exactly. Adjectives. And you can make your own mantra, and you can and you say it in every part of the room, and you just keep repeating it, and you can change it up. Let's say you get to a separate room and you want to add the word happy, add the word happy. It does not matter, but you need to use some positive adjectives.
Yeah.
And you move from each room to the next, blowing that sage smoke as far as you can and just breathing it in too. You're not just blowing it and cleaning. You need to make sure that you're making it a part of yourself as well. And you move through your home saying these positive words and making sure that you mean it. Now, if you are not in a good space, if you are depressed, if you are angry, do not sage your house.
Okay.
Do not do it. Go outside and have a drink and sit on your porch for a day. Or
And
whatever
ground
you need to
yourself.
do.
Ground yourself also.
Right. You need to go and get yourself
You have
good.
to be in a good frame of mind.
Yes.
Exactly. You cannot go and sage your home and be pissed off. It does not work. So be in a good frame. And then what I do, so you go through your entire home. And the other thing you need to do is you go through all the corners. You go around the window frames, doors, things like that. Open up a window, let it out. Okay. So you want to let that energy out. You're thinking of cleaning it. Now with sage, imagine that as bleach. You have bleached your home. Okay. If you fight or you have an argument or you yell, that is going to stick because it is bleach. You've literally cleared your entire home. Make sure you burn some sort of incense, some sort of oil, some sort of positive, loving energy, whether that's lavender, orange. Those are my two favorite, honestly, for after you've cleansed a home. Lavender, orange, and grapefruit. Those are the three that are, I think, are the
Erin,
most
I
wonderful.
have a question for you. Instead of sage, can she use Palo Santo?
Yes, that does that more removes everything that is negative and leaves everything that's happy. But it's kind of like this. Palo Santos will clear your home, yes, but it will not cleanse it. It will clear it. I love Palo Santos. I will burn Palo Santos like in between meditations because it's just a light cleaning. You know, it's kind of like when you do the spring cleaning and you do your regular weekly cleaning.
Your little fresher, your refresher.
Yes, your refresher, because we don't always need to just clear everything out of the room.
It's your Febreze, hon. It's your Febreze.
Yes. It's like, you know, when you've had like a good week, it's been a great week and Sunday comes and you're like, I just need to do a little counter cleaning and stuff. That's Palo Santos.
Well, they have the actual candles that have the oils and everything in it. Could she just burn that in the home after she's done the initial cleansing, to burn that and just to do it that way? Because her daughter, she doesn't want to have a lot of smoke in the house. So I don't recommend the sage as much when the daughter's home, but maybe a candle or something like that.
So with a major cleansing, though, I do suggest the sage smoke.
Me too.
Right, to do the first initial cleansing like that.
You need to go through the home and envelop it.
Yep.
But open up the windows.
Yeah.
Okay. It won't stink like that forever. Just you can open up every single window. You want that smoke to get out. You want it to envelop the house and go out. So open up every single window. Now's the perfect time to do it before it gets too cold.
Okay.
And then after that, oils. I got it going right now. I love my oils. Some frankincense, lavender, and orange or grapefruit. Beautiful smells.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Sam, I have some sage with lavender, so
or any sort of oils. Burn put those in your diffuser afterwards. That will help the energy of the room. Put something positive into it before you get one damn fight or one irritated moment and it sticks like glue. So just put some positive into that room. But unfortunately you do need to use, I personally feel, the sage, burning the sage.
Yeah. And just remember, you have to believe what you are saying when you are doing a cleansing. Words are just words, but if you don't truly believe what you are saying, it's not going to work. your intentions. It's 100%, like she said, about your intentions, and know the words you are saying are working, and it's coming from the heart, because
Absolutely.
and what also will help you too, picture your daughter lives there, so if anything, to know that, you're doing this for her and for her safety,
But
so
you're also allowing to let her grow into her abilities if she develops them. Like she was, like Erin was saying earlier, almost all children have it.
Hmm.
It's whether they continue into their adulthood with
Yeah.
it or they don't. But learning about this now and learning how to cleanse it, clear it, to live with it is going to be you and raising your daughter in that and making her feel comfortable.
hmm
So she doesn't feel like some people out here where they felt like an outcast or anything because they're seeing these weird things. Now, I know
Correct.
your mom, Sam. Um, Lovely lady. I love her. She was with us one night. She's great. And I know that she never stifled you either. She
Mhm.
never said, "Oh, you're not seeing those things. You're not doing this. You're not doing that." She was not that person.
hmm
So even though she might have not been as experienced as some people, but you still you have the openness to experience it into adulthood. And if your daughter comes to that, then this is the time to learn everything you need to know about yourself and what's going on with you, so you can be open with her, and so she can thrive and
Mhm.
deal with it instead of being some people, they feel like they're plagued by it, like it's
100%.
not a gift, but it is a gift.
100%.
So
Brandy, I think that you would agree that this is a lot about one of our previous shows that we did with Michael about
mhm,
psychic children.
yes.
I think a lot of us have gone into this field because of our children. Um,
Yes.
they've given us that little bit of uh-oh.
Oops, wait a minute. It's kind of
Whoops,
like, wait, well, I knew I was
I
weird,
didn't
but now that
I
you're
didn't
weird,
expect
we got to
this.
figure this out.
Where we have to go and like really research a lot of other areas within ourselves as well. So, like Brandy was saying, if people are interested in that, they should go back and look at that episode as well, where we were talking about, psychic children and things like that. And we will continue talking about that.
Yeah,
Um,
we're gonna do episodes of that for sure. Because
yeah,
I
but
mean,
yeah,
it's just eye opening, and
absolutely.
it
Yeah.
it's it'll make you cry, it'll make you super
Oh my
happy,
gosh.
it's a
So many
very
emotions.
emotional show. That's all I can say. It's
Very,
very
very much.
emotional, because you're dealing with your kids, and that is your heart.
Oh
Your
yeah,
kids.
and it's very difficult when you're dealing with your children and they're going through this thing.
Mm.
And I mean, even as me as a psychic medium, and Sam, I know you feel this to some degree or level. As a mom, as a psychic medium, who could feel things and sense things, when things come around my child and I can't tell what that is, it's a terrifying feeling.
Right.
And when you feel like you cannot protect your child from something you cannot necessarily see with your eyeballs, that's a horrible feeling. That's a horrible feeling. So this is kind of why we do a lot of these things that we do on this show, is because we want to make sure that moms, dads, uncles, brothers, sisters, things like that can give people the information that they need.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. I mean, because you could sit there with your own child, and you both can see ghosts. You both can see them,
but yeah,
but you
but it's
can't
gonna be
see the
different,
same
Mike.
one at the same time, because that particular spirit it doesn't want you to see them,
Mm-hmm.
or
Mhm.
they don't want your child to see them. It's like it's vice versa, and they may be seeing things that you can't see, and you may be seeing things they can't see. So it's just kind of like, yeah, it's very strange, but I mean, it is all a learning process that you're going to have to deal with.
Absolutely.
I'm almost positive, because
Yeah.
Absolutely.
she's already steering in the direction. She's already doing
Oh,
that at a
she's
very young
absolutely
age.
is. She's
Yeah.
further along than I actually anticipated her to be. So,
Yeah. So I
one
believe
more,
we have another bright light coming.
Yeah.
right,
Guys,
right.
we're going to have to close this show.
Oh,
Real
yeah,
quick
we're
though,
almost
I wanted to mention Paranormal Pixie. She had put a comment up there about Sage and being it literally, it does clear. She was talking about how it clears the air and it's very clearing for allergies and things like that. She is 100% correct. So that's the other thing that Sam,
Actually,
I know
Paranormal Pixie has posted a lot of things that I 100% agree with her.
she is very much in tune with that. And
Yep.
so Sam, I wanted to let you know kind of like with what she was saying, that I know you're concerned with your daughter and stuff, but also know that there's a lot of benefits to burning sage. It clears a lot of the negative ions, which those negative ions are stinky smells. So, garbage, whatever else. Plus, it also clears a lot of allergen smells.
Bacteria.
Yes, bacteria smells. So kind of like what Paranormal Pixie was saying, she was talking about, I can't say the word because I have a hard time with words at times. Well, she'll have to maybe post it again. I can't say the word, but it will clear up certain things in your house, like smells and allergens and things like that, and it makes it more healthy. So
okay, with that, we've got to close it out. We can't go over our mark. But we're going to close it out right now. Sam, stay on for just a few minutes, and we're going to have Aaron finish up with you, telling you about that.
Yep.
And Krista, go ahead and close us out.
Yep. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in, and you guys have been great. It sounds like a lot of you guys have the same views out there as we do, as far as metaphysics and the paranormal. You guys are awesome, and we definitely appreciate each and every one of you guys. We are going to close tonight. Tune in next Thursday night. I believe we have Dave Glidden on, and we are actually going to be talking about a creepy subject, incubus and succubus, which sexual demons, literally. And then on Friday night show with Blondes and Booze and the Woo, we are going to have Michael, Christopher, and Aaron. They're going to be doing viewer readings. So tune back in for both of those. And we definitely appreciate everybody. And I'm going to tell everybody good night for now. And we'll see you all next week. Thank you.
Next Thursday. See you then.
See you later. Bye-bye. I have a charger. Oh, right here. So just